How's it going, guys? Fringy123 here, and if you've noticed over the weekend, and the last week, it's been pretty difficult to log on to Battlefield, and I'm sure that you're all aware, if you're watching this, that the reason why people have been having difficulty logging into servers, or they log in and get kicked, is because there have been some cyber attacks on the DICE servers. So it's been making it extremely difficult for some people to get into the game. I've been disconnected quite a few times as well. You would have seen the notices on Battlelog that they put on the front page, and yeah, it isn't looking too good. I mean, they've pretty much got it almost entirely fixed now. It's not as bad as it was last week, but it's still definitely an issue. And a lot of people have been getting angry on the forums, and they're just, and I can understand that, because nobody wants to buy a game and then be unable to play it. That's just bullshit. So, yeah, these issues have been really bugging me. It's been really hard for me to get into a game. Especially today, I've been having extreme difficulty actually logging into a server. So, I've been disconnected so many times, saying you're disconnected from EA Online. And, not sure why the cyber attacks are happening. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was saying that, he thought that some people were pissed off about the things that DICE didn't put in Battlefield 3, but the first thing I thought was, why wouldn't they have just done this at launch then? Why would they wait a year and a half to attack? So that couldn't... I'm not sure if that would be the reason or not. I mean, it's a delicate issue, and yeah, it's unfortunate that this has happened, and that these guys have attacked the servers. For what reason, I don't know, but it's made it really difficult for people to log into the game, and that just sucks. The fact that someone has purchased the game and is unable to play it's almost like when the PlayStation Network went down, except that this is not as such on a big scale. I also am not sure how it's going on the consoles. I'm not sure if the DICE servers have been attacked on the consoles, or it's just exclusively PC. But yeah, I play on PC, and PC is where I've been noticing all these issues. But enough about the server attacks. It's time to talk about the gameplay that I have here. So I was playing today on Operation Riverside, one of the endgame maps. And earlier on in the match, I was experimenting more with the tanks, because out of all of the vehicles that I use, tanks tend to be the ones that I died the least in, and I can actually use well. Like tanks and anti-aircraft especially. I find anti-aircrafts are just so good at taking down helicopters, especially because they move much slower. Well, I'll just talk about what happened here. So I got that guy, but I was in a pretty bad situation, out of ammo. Oh my god, look at how many enemies. Got pretty much a double kill, kind of a triple kill, but then they'll get revived, which always annoys me when I'm just watching this guy reviving all the people I killed, all that progress lost. Yeah, but back to before, when I was talking about using the tanks. So I found that, like, it's kind of, you got to play a lot more. Even though people would think that using a tank you could just go in all guns blazing and just blow shit up, I find that I'm using a tank. The way that I do the best is if I'm really conservative with my movements. Like, tanks are strong, but if you have like 2 or 3 engineers and you're in an enclosed space, then you're pretty much fucked. They're gonna get you if you're not being careful. Because unless you have a gunner who can kind of help you out, you'll probably get C4'd, or rockets will just come from everywhere, or another tank will roll up, and then you're just dead. So what I decided to do, which helped me out a lot more, was hang back and like just take shots at the tanks from further range. A lot of them were the LAV tanks, as opposed to me being in the M1 Abrams. So it made it a lot easier to take them out, whereas they had to put in more of the weaker rounds into me to take me out. I did get taken out by, like what I said before, if you got a bunch of engineers or a bunch of people running support and they put C4 on you, then you're dead, and it's pretty much a death wish. So after that experience, I decided that I would go just on the ground and run around and start trying to shoot people. Earlier on, I was kind of getting my ass handed to me, but and wasn't really relying on my squad much, because I wasn't playing with anybody. It was just me jumping into a server and just playing. And I find that it's a lot harder to be coordinated when You don't know the people. Like, people just kind of do their own thing. It's much better to play Battlefield when you're with a group of friends and you're just with a group of friends and you start coordinating using Skype or TeamSpeak or whatever you want to use. And that way you can better coordinate with each other where you want to go, what objectives you want to hit. And it makes it much easier when you have a lot of support around you. Like, a lot of support that is there to help you out. Here was something I want to take advantage of. They left their T90 out in the open, so I decided to jump on it. But like I said before, a bunch of people running engineers get you, then you're dead. Like that just happened there. That's probably my main problem when I'm playing Battlefield, is that I'm way too rushy. Like, that's all those COD years from before catching up with me. Just constantly rushing out, jumping right into the line of fire, trying to get as many guys as possible, and not playing conservatively enough. That's always my problem. That and just not timing my shots. Like, so frequently when I'm at long range, I just don't time my shots. Or when I'm in close range, I start hip firing, but I'm too touchy on the mouse, so I just end up getting my ass kicked. Here was a bad situation. We had a bunch of choppers around, and I knew some enemies would drop down. So you kill that guy. See, that's sloppy there, what I did. And I don't even know why I didn't notice that guy jumping out in front of me. I thought he was on my team, but I don't even know why. That's a problem. I keep playing too rushy, not conservative enough. And that's probably my downfall. I decided I'd do a drop ship, but then I decided I would just go straight to the warehouse because I saw that there were a lot of enemies around, and then get killed immediately. It's about paying attention to the mini-map is what works best for me. It seemed paying attention to the mini-map, especially when you're spawning, is a perfect opportunity to pretty much determine whether you want to spawn in there or not, because you pretty much already know where the enemies are going to be. Sometimes you'll see some guys sneaking around, but most of the time you'll know where the enemies are going to be. So when you start to spawn in, it's about determining which place you want to spawn where you're the least likely to just get your ass killed. There are so many times when I see a bunch of red dots and I'm just like, oh, it looks like there's a lot of enemies there. Better go in there. That was pretty much how I used to play, but now I try and... I'm still rushy, but I'm not as rushy as I used to be. Like, I pay attention to the minimap, and when I see too many enemies in a certain spot, then that's when I just decide to get the fuck out and not die. Or spawn at a different place so that I can get a vehicle or something. But as you've noticed, during this match, I've been trying my best to actually capture the objectives because I'm an objective player. Even though I'm rushy, I always like to attack objectives. I don't like defending. I like to just run in and cap the objectives, especially when Operation Riverside and a lot of the other endgame maps, if you want to hold the middle ones so that you can have control of the dropship, which allows pretty much your team to just get the jump on them. I don't know what I was doing there. I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, I find that the dropship is useful for getting the jump on players. And luckily I got revived here. Because as you can see, I'm running medic as well. I prefer to play medic mainly because it's more about the health personally. Like, personally, when I'm running medic, the main reason I do so is so that I can drop down health, because there are so many situations where I keep getting shot, and using the health I'm able to run around and flank him. But then again, I always wonder if I should run engineer. I very rarely run out of ammo, and usually when I do, I can just pick up another gun, so I don't really care for support all that much. And I can't snipe for shit, so I don't play recon. So it's mainly between medic and engineer. And I feel as though DICE probably should have balanced the two classes in terms of guns better than they did. Because think about the two best guns in the game, pretty much the M16A3, which is what I'm running now, and the AKS. Those are the two best weapons because they put people down so quickly, have a high firing rate, but they still have little to no recoil. So those pretty much stand as like some of the two best guns, but the game has it so that the two best guns a part of the medic class, pretty much, the assault class. So when it comes to me, yeah, there's the M4A1, but like, it's still easier to run with M16A3. So, like, even though there's situations where there's a tank and I'm pretty much screwed, I still prefer to run as an assault class purely for the weapons being more usable. I was running the G36C for a really long time in Engineer, but I was finding that even with tanks coming in and me having a rocket launcher, I was still unable to take them out because I was never with a group of people. If I'm playing with a squad, then yeah, it's easier, we can coordinate that. But when I'm on my own, I'm unable to do that. So as you can see here, I jumped into a little bird. Sometimes, like in matches, I never come in pretty certain of what I'm gonna jump in as. I hit him there, even though he did his ECM jammer. Like, pretty much when I start a match, I never say, right, I'm gonna use a vehicle, like particularly in this match, but in this situation, I decided, yeah, jump into the little bird, and I ended up doing better than expected. Usually when I'm in a little bird or a Z11, it's my death wish. So I got a double kill on that Z11, and then I saw that there was a chopper nearby that I wanted to take out, but I was, yeah, on the prep. I knew he was behind me, so I wanted to get further away so that I could swap around. And I'm not sure if the guy in the vehicle with me was helping me out with that, but this was a good opportunity. That helicopter just used his jammer, so I knew he had time before he was gonna be able to get it. So I ended up disabling him. Nearly got hit there because I'm right near the enemy spawn, so it's in a dangerous position. And terrible flying here, but I just wanted to get him. Got the vehicle destroyed, but as you can see, now I've put myself in a bad situation. I've got enemies all over. I'm trying to shoot them all with my minigun, but I need to get away so that I don't get blown up by tanks or any guys on the ground with javelins. And so I decided to use a minigun now, and it actually worked out better than expected. So that went pretty well for me. But oh no, I'm getting shot now, so I had to get out of there. The problem with the little bird and the Z11 is that you get shot through the window, and that happens to me so many times. There's so many times where I don't get blown up, but I get shot out through the window. So right now I'm trying to get as far away as possible. I've lost like a third of the... I've lost pretty much 2/3 my main health, and like a third of the health on the little bird. So I spotted the... another helicopter again, which I wanted to get. I decided to whip out the minigun and try and kill him with a minigun. But and I accidentally bailed out. Luckily, it landed just fine, so I was able to get away. But not without being shot at. So I had to I have to position myself in a spot that pretty much prevents death as much as possible. Like, I mean, obviously that's what you're going to do in most things, but you see, I went near the tank. The tank may have had lock on because I took a lot of damage. But I decided I'd help out B, got a kill with that, but I'm flying really close to the ground and really slow, so it's a really tricky thing to do. That guy could have easily killed me. It was just unlucky that he missed, but then I got some help from my chopper, and I decided that we'd go back and push because now we've protected the gas station and it's getting capped by our team. And so I tried to use a minigun from too far away. I deployed my flares way too early, and pretty much I just got myself killed. I just got myself killed here, and yeah, dead. But I had a decent run for choppers, which I usually do awfully on. And I felt like I was playing poorly today, but I was doing the best on our team, and our team won. And so, pretty much, with only like 6 tickets left, I can just run around happy that our team has won. Because as you know, Battlefield's all about just winning for the team. You've got to sacrifice your own stats for the good of the team. Even though I think I went pretty decently in this match. And I hope you enjoyed the commentary, guys. Just, if you want to see any more commentaries, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks, guys.